Today we're going to be reviewing everything that a beginner needs to do in order to grow their glutes massively and fast as well. We're going to be looking at, first of all, how to set up hip thrust, because I know that you guys get intimidated by hip thrust, and also I'm going to be explaining you the top secrets and the things that beginners normally tend to have, okay? And they're a little bit different from advanced lifters, so your training is a little bit different in terms of advanced lifters. And I also will be giving you a program by the end, a quick workout that you can try that is not hard, okay, but it still hammers your glutes and you can still grow. And you can try by yourself at the gym. And I know that you have some sort of gym intimidation anxiety that you have. It's normal, okay? When you go to a new gym, I also even get anxiety. It's normal. Okay, so we can start with hip thrust. How do we set up a hip thrust? Because I know that can be slightly intimidating, grabbing the weights, and how do we even start? Numero uno, we start with the box, okay? So the box needs to be at the right height. Where? Look at my back. I need to be able to get on it. Simply, okay? I don't want to see you struggling or using your elbows to get on it, okay? You need to be able to get on it in a simple way, okay? Just nice and easy. Where as well is possible your bra strap is. This should be. Also, make sure that your bum, you see how far my bum is. Try to get it a little bit closer and then you can readjust later on. Now, next thing, feet. I like to go with a wider stance. Again, I'll keep my feet at slightly 90-degree angle, but the distance of your feet will depend on your genetics and how long your limbs are. But now let's look about, obviously this is nice and easy, we all know this. Let's talk about the barbell. How do we set up the barbell? We have, first of all, in terms of choosing the plate, if you can, you want to choose these plates, which are bigger. There is a 10-kilo plate that is so much bigger. And why? Because it's easy then to roll the barbell on top, and I'll show you in a minute what I mean. So we have our plate here, then there is a barbell free over here, so I'm just gonna go and use this. We'll grab the barbell and put it here where the plate is, and look how easy it is to start setting it up, lift it up, and then we push it, slide it in. So you see how easy it is to start building the barbell. And then same thing with the other weight. Over here, nice and easy, that way. Now clips, where are the clips? Clips. We clip it as always because it just helps evening out the weight in case you ever lose balance. What I meant before was, look how easy it is, because we're using big plates to roll it on top of me. See, I can roll it in and out. If I had small plates, I'd have to lift it up and put it on me, which makes it so awkward, right? Now we have our barbell ready, okay? Let's find a little pad. I actually didn't find the pad at the gym, and this can happen, okay? Because when the gym is super busy. So this is a perfect example to give you an alternative when you don't have a pad around. I simply use 1 or 2 mats, and you can fold them together. So this is a quick kind of do it yourself when you don't have the pads available. Okay, so it's nice and set now. The only thing that I will say now is, because the gym is super busy and also for angles and everything, because this is a very lightweight, it doesn't really matter where I position this, okay? But normally when you go a little bit heavier, you want to make sure that this is always against a wall or something that can give you support. Otherwise you slide backwards, okay? Especially when you use a lot of weight. Now with this I don't really mind as well, but preferably you want to have this stuck so that it doesn't keep moving. The technique, now we have everything set up and we're ready to go. So hips towards the ceiling, but make sure that you use the scoop method with your chin tucked in, looking forward the whole time. Obviously we're going very quickly with this because I've done plenty of tutorials on how to do hip thrust, so if you want to watch them, there are like literally plenty of tutorials step by step, very slow, on how to do hip thrust. So hips to the ceiling, looking forward, squeezing, and then going down, and then again. Okay, so that's nice and easy. One concept that comes from this, and a lot of beginners tend to make this mistake, they get scared, and tell me this is something that you do as well. This thing of always seeking for 10 reps. I need to do a weight that I can do 10 reps of everything. And this is wrong, because you're really underestimating your strength. So if you actually choose a weight that is a little bit heavier that you can normally do, but let's say you can only do 6 reps, or even less, even 4 reps, or I wouldn't go super heavy when you're a beginner, to be honest. But even a weight that you can do 6 reps, right? Or even 8, right? Why do you always have to strive for 10 reps with everything? Like, this is a prime mistake that people make with progressive overload. You can do a weight that is with less reps, okay? So for example, let's say 6 reps, and then you keep doing that weight over the weeks, and those 6 reps will become 7. And then after a few weeks, those 7 reps will become 8 until reach 10. Start increasing the weight and do less reps. It's not that hard, amore. Another mistake that a lot of gym goers, especially when they're beginner, make is that they set impossible goals. What are these impossible goals that by the way are not needed? They think that they have to go to the gym every day or 4 or 5 times a day. Are you crazy? Tell me something. No, amore, no, listen. Why? You can't go from someone that has never gone to the gym to setting these goals from A to Z straight away, going 5, 6, 7 days a week. Like, are you crazy? I don't even go that much. Like, who told you that you have to go to the gym every day? I'm sorry. If you're a beginner, actually, I'll tell you something. Beginners can build muscle faster than anyone else, which is crazy. You're so lucky, because comparing to me as well, it will be much slower now for me to achieve more growth because I'm an advanced lifter. But beginners, if you're doing the right program, hence if you apply for my program, I'll tell you, I mean, you'll see incredible results, because beginners, especially beginners or people that have a break, so they trained in the past but they had a break in between, they're not trained for a while, you will be more prone to build muscle than anyone else. So you're welcome there. And what I wanted to say, especially if you're a beginner, you don't have to go to the gym every single day. So even if you go twice, if you want to, for example, if you want to grow your legs, this is your goal, you have to train your legs like, let's say, twice a week. Even twice a week is enough. Okay, and let's say you want to throw some upper body in there, you can do a full body on each day. If you're a busy person, you can do twice a week, okay, and still see progress. As a beginner, and especially if you're someone that doesn't really have much time on their spare hand, honestly, anything can work. Even like twice a week is okay. To start 2 to 3 times a week, perfect. Okay, and we can do like upper body included as well. So stop putting yourself impossible goals, because you can't go from A to Z straight away. So another prime mistake that a lot of beginners tend to make is that they think that they have to start squatting straight away in order to see results. They get scared of the squat rack, for example, and they get intimidated by certain equipment, and they think, well, that's it, I can't go to the gym, let me just stick to cardio, right? Wrong. First of all, you don't have to do barbell squats in order to grow your glutes. Okay, write this down. There is no one exercise alone that will target your glutes. There is no one magic pill that you can do. It's rather a combination of different exercises and variation of exercises that will grow your glutes. So if an exercise, like for example barbell squats, doesn't work for you because you're still not ready to approach the squat rack, and by the way, if you want to build up the confidence, I even did a video on how to progress and get the confidence for this. But let's say at the moment you don't have to. If you're a completely beginner, you don't have to jump on the squat rack straight away. Okay, there is other variations that target your glutes in the same way, slightly obviously, like mechanics will be a little bit different, but it will be easier, okay, but it will target the same muscle. For example, what is this other exercise you can do? Sumo squats with your dumbbell. They're much easier to perform and also more glute focused sometimes. Why? Because first of all, we're not having to balance out ourselves a lot, and it's not as complex as a barbell squat, so it's much easier to perform for a beginner. Also, with the weight being directly in front of us, what will force us to do? To lean more forward. And what happens when we lean more forward? We'll automatically target our glutes. Also, if we're a beginner and we struggle with the weight, straight away I can drop the weight, obviously being careful with my feet, don't drop it on your feet, but it's so much easier with this. It eliminates the whole risk of having someone spotting you, for example. You don't need anyone to spot you or to help you with this, okay? So automatically removes all those issues. And obviously with the barbell squats, you can do low bar, which will force you to be a little bit more forward. But again, we're talking about a more complex exercise. So how do we do it? Wide stance, feet slightly rotated outwards, not too far, otherwise you'll start feeling it too much in your inner thighs, okay? Because obviously sumo means also more inner thighs. And what we'll do, we'll lean more forward, grab our dumbbell, go all the way down and go up. Amazing. Great exercise for beginners and as well for your glutes. Now, we're gonna be starting with this. We're gonna be doing the first set, 10 reps. Then I want you to go a little bit heavier and do 8 reps. A little bit heavier again and do a weight that you can only do 6 reps. And then again, repeat it. 4 sets, nice and easy. You can choose between two things. The first thing, hip thrust that I showed you before, okay? If you feel confident. Anyway, you're not using a lot of weight. Or if you want to do something that is even easier, we do glute bridges, which is basically, let's think about a cousin of your hip thrust. Okay, how do we do it? One little tip that I will give you, okay, this works for me, but again, genetics, it depends, you might not be able to feel it. I like, while I do this exercise in particular, to have my weight on my heels. So slightly elevate my feet. This is something that works for me. And also it works with something like a dumbbell, because we're not going crazy heavy, okay? So I wouldn't do a PB like this, otherwise I would not really be stable. But it really helps me as well tilt my pelvis. So what we're doing here, I want you to really tilt your pelvis inwards, forming a scoop with your pelvis. Okay, imagine that you're a bee and you want to sting someone. So it's basically the opposite of arching your back on the other side. So you want to do it in an opposite way. So forming this scoop, and what we're doing, we're pushing our glutes towards the ceiling. So wow, look, squeezing the whole time. The movement needs to be driven by your glutes. And I want you to think about your glutes while you do this. So I'm imagining my glutes, okay, over here, and I'm pushing and driving the movement up, squeezing all the way until I can't squeeze no more. And then go down, but not really touching the floor, so I maintain that constant tension, and then again up. You can do exactly the same with the weight. Try to go heavy, okay? To pick a dumbbell that is heavy enough, it challenges you. And again, remember that rule of not having to do 10 reps of everything. First set, again, okay, what we do, up, same principle, and down. 4 sets, and again, I want you to do that same principle that I told you before of not necessarily striving for 10 reps every time. So, next exercise is the leg press. Why? It's an easy exercise that literally anyone can do, but one thing that I want you to pay attention to this is to put your feet slightly higher up in order to feel it more in your glutes. Normally, a lot of leg presses are a little bit bigger, okay? So they're a little bit wider, bigger. Always strive to have your feet slightly higher up, okay? That it has to feel comfortable, not too high that it hurts you, of course. But nice and easy, this will target your glutes. So you release the weight and you want your knees to come close to your chest, remember, okay? And make sure that when you come up, you never straighten up your legs. They always have to maintain a little bend, okay? This is a little cue tip for beginners, just because you won't be able to control it, and sometimes you use a little bit of momentum and you can really hurt your knees. So for beginners, I recommend never to straighten up for now, okay? So descending down again. I know, nice and easy. Again, you will do exactly the same thing. What did I teach you before? The first set, you do 10 reps. For the next set, you increase the weight. Again, you do a weight that you can only do 8 reps. And then maybe the next one, you add a little bit more of weight. And then again, a little bit more of weight. Now, if, let's say, it's your first ever time training, okay, you literally have 0 experience, you can even do 4 sets of 10. Okay, just to get you used to, okay, so that you don't have to like deal with any weights at all, so that you really focus on the form. But if you're like a beginner, yes, but a little bit more experience, then yes, push a little bit yourself, and don't necessarily strive for 10 reps straight away. And I'm sure you all know this machine, to be honest, like this is not intimidating at all, and it's very easy, but it's also very good for your glutes when I want you to lean a little bit more backwards, okay? So if we're leaning a little bit more backwards and opening up wide, this is a fairly easy exercise, and I want you again to increase the weight every set. You can push yourself, you can do it. Anyway, family, I know that it can be overwhelming, I get it. I promise you that it's overwhelming when you don't know something. It's like when I first started driving, I was super scared. Do you remember the first time that you started driving? How scary was that? It's because it was new and you weren't aware of that. You didn't know where it was happening and what was going on. So it's all about practicing and knowing, okay? Knowledge is power. If you want me to help you, again, link below for a personalized plan for you where I can help you along the way, check your form, correct your form and posture even online. I hope you found some value from this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time with another video. Ciao, familia.